What up, everybody? You are now in the flavor layer. So get nice and comfy, get a drink, roll a Jeffrey, do whatever you got to do, okay? Get nice and comfortable as you enjoy this ride with me and my counterpart here. But first, I want to talk a little bit about how my week went and the things that I implemented, and I hope that y'all did the same out there, and I hope that it helped you. I started a routine. First of all, I got my whiteboard up here on the wall that I said I was going to do. Got my daily schedule on it. Really helps me to just wake up and look at that every day, just so I can kind of get a loose outline of what my day could look like. Now, obviously, there's going to be variables in there that switch that up here and there, and errands I got to run, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. That helps me get my routine in structure, right, which then leads to a healthier mind. I've been working on my posture. I've been wearing my posture brace a lot more, working on my breathing, and I unplugged. I went out in the forest with Bob yesterday down by our campground behind our backyard here, and we built a nice little railing out of the redwood branches that fell from the windstorm. And it was cool, man. No electronics were needed, no music even, just me, Bob, and the dog. And believe it or not, it was really nice. And I just got to start doing more stuff like that, I feel like, to get out of this technical, material world. So I hope y'all did some of that. Enough preaching. Bring my man Bobby in here. I'm going to light this little Jeffrey here of Skittles. We're going to get a little lifted here. We might even do a little freestyle. What do you think, Bob?
That sounds good to me.
Yeah? You remember all the beats we used to kick on the real ones, man?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was re-uploading those, like I said in the last episode, and some of those freestyles had me sitting here crying, laughing, dude.
Oh, yeah. They were great.
Like, there was one about, like, licking butt, and that's all we said for, like, 2 minutes, but I was bobbing my head, dude.
Yeah.
It was like...
It all made sense.
Lick it good, lick the booty out, lick it good, lick it good, lick that booty out. That's all I kept saying, dude. It's like when you find something catchy on the beat, you just want to keep saying it. That's what... I used to get so drunk and... I don't know. I was just laughing at myself, but there was one that we had with me and you. You staring at this?
Yes, I am.
Give that a little rippy, Bob.
Yeah, thanks.
It tastes really good, man. I'm fucking with that. That's the Skittles there. Had wedding cake on the last episode. Trying to bring y'all flavors. I like to switch the flavor game up very consistently, you know what I'm saying? Got some there on the keyboard. Never let your ash fall on your ass, right? Right, Bob?
Right.
Yeah. What else do you want to talk about while we finish this joint? I see the beat coming up here on the timeline, so.
Oh, yeah. A beat. You got the beat.
I got the beat, yo.
I don't know. What can we talk about?
I guess that just means we shouldn't talk and we should just get down to business. If we can't think about it, then don't even rap about it. Yeah. Crew 80 lights to that OG and CO. Stay low key, fuck police, rock polo fleece. Now I'm rolling Skittles with a cam dog. I used to pop pills and smoke menthols. Woo. Taking a sip of the juice in the ride. Tequila be making me losing my mind. You got a good pack, I'm looking to buy. Woo. I always be looking for any new flavor. A dab, a blunt, or put it in a paper. I'll bag it up and save it for later. Woo. I try to grow my own, but when I'm on the road, I still need smoke, I still need rope. Open down the middle, so hit me on the post. Making the most of the life that I chose. Breaking my bones to lighten my load. Fighting and scratching to making shit happen. Woo. Now ride around with that work. Quarter pound of that perp. Got me swerving up on the curb. Oh. Now ride around with that work. Quarter pound of that perp. Got me swerving up on the curb. Oh. Gotta tune into the program. Smoking 2 cans and Fruit Loops go bam. Never smoke lows, no way. Put an 8th in 1J. Save problems for another day. I'm pedaling more to settle the score. I'm strong with a car bomb, I pick up my pace. Stick to my lane. Swerving in and out cause there's lanes in my way. Trying to stop me from taking off on my plane. I swerve, I dash on them. I don't deserve to crash, no. But it might be unlikely that I make it out alive because I chose to chase a pipe dream. That was a good
cool.
one. That was a good one.
Yeah. That's good.
Man, I feel like that just definitely changes the vibe of anything instantly. You just throw on some music and it's like, wha-bam, there you go. All right, this joint is ousted, so I'm just going to put that to the side for later. And Bob, I wanted to kind of talk about, so we watched that movie. Remember that movie we watched probably about a week ago now, called Mine on Netflix?
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember where that guy was like walking with his buddy through the...
the two soldiers that are in Afghanistan.
Exactly. Yeah, so they're like...
They're on a mission.
Yeah, that movie was funny because as I was watching it, I was just like, man, this is crazy. You know, it's cool when a movie, like 90% of that movie was filmed in one scene, one set. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
they still can keep your attention. Like, I think that's really cool and it's hard to pull off. So when you can do that, where you keep me on the edge of my seat and the camera or the scene never changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're walking through and they have to get to this village, right? And they decide to cut through what is a minefield.
Yeah, exactly. Right? They were running out of water.
And they were running out of water.
And they didn't want to take the long way because they would have ran out of water and not made it to their destination. But the destination was right in front of them, and all they had to do is walk through that minefield.
Right.
And one guy was saying, you know, since it was old and decrepit, that half the mines, if any, work at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, don't worry about it. He was all, you know, gung-ho about it and said, don't worry about it. Didn't think nothing of it. But meanwhile, the other guy, he was kind of thinking a little bit like, wait a minute, you know, hey, if we just go running through that minefield, we're going to blow up.
Right.
The other guy's saying, no, he's pretty sure that nothing's going to happen. And the other guy's saying, no, he has his doubts, you know, and so
they're all dead. They don't work anymore, right? That's what he's saying.
So in order to get to their destination, you got to go around the minefield the safe way. It's going to take too long. But if they don't take the safe way through that minefield and calculating where every mine is at and everything and trying to get through that minefield, they're also going to die.
Right.
So the other guy is just kind of like, it seems like he's almost in denial. There's no mines. Just keeping his mind, train of thought of going forward towards that village. And
right.
It gets him big time.
Yeah, because, right, so they're walking, and then he's like looking back like, yeah, man, we're good. Boom, right? He blows both of his legs off.
Both of them off. I mean, right at the knees.
Just clean off. And then as that happens, right, the guy who was second guessing it and just thinking about going the safer long route, he goes click and he steps on one, right? And then that's when the movie really, to me, starts implementing the message that I got from it. Mm-hmm. And that message being that in life, obviously there's sacrifice you have to make, right? But there's pretty much, at least that guy that lived in the desert that came up to him, he said there's a free man and there's a lucky man.
Yeah.
Right? And you can only have one. You can only be lucky or you can only be free.
Yeah.
And it's a give and take, and it's like you can't be both, right? So, and like what he was getting at was like the peasant guy, I'm gonna call him, I guess, for a lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Hope that doesn't offend anybody.
Middle of the desert, he just came out of nowhere.
Right. He was a free man, right? Because he had lost his leg and his first daughter to a landmine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But he lived, and he's free, right? Because he gets to see his family every day. But there's sacrifices that he had to make to get to that point, right? But he's free. He's not sitting there with his foot on a landmine stuck.
In the middle of the desert, 100 and something degrees in the day and almost below freezing at night, you know, and
Yep. And like with that coming back to sacrifices, it's like, what are you willing to sacrifice in life, right? That's what I kept asking myself. Like, and this movie, it weighed on me like throughout the whole week. It wasn't just like it all came to me at once. I was thinking about this like 2 days after the movie. And I'm thinking like, okay, like free man and lucky man, All right, like what do I want to be? Obviously, I want to be a free man, okay? But that doesn't mean you're gonna get all the glamour, all the gold, because if you go that route, you're eventually gonna blow up, right? Because you're gonna have to dodge all these landmines, right? And you can't dodge them all, man.
Not only that, throughout the movie, there's that free and lucky all throughout the movie, if you notice that.
Totally.
I mean, at night when he got attacked by the wolves, he was lucky that he was able to fend them off and kill them without blowing that bomb up.
Totally.
But he was not free.
Nope.
But he was free from those wolves.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just talking about what I saw, and like everyone's point of view is different, right? But like in this case, man, this guy got to keep moving on, and that's what he kept saying in the movie, right? It was like, you got to keep on moving.
Yeah.
On. You know,
gotta move forward.
You gotta move forward.
Keep move forward.
Move forward. Don't look back. And like that was another great message that I picked up in this movie.
And he kept telling the guy, "I can't. I'm standing on a landmine."
Yeah. And he's like, "Why?
You're a very lucky guy. Very lucky guy."
Yeah.
In other words, you've already survived.
Yeah. You didn't blow up.
Yeah, you didn't blow up, so
you didn't lose your leg.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. If you haven't watched that movie, definitely go check it out, because I picked up a ton from it, man. Like, totally. The biggest message I got from it was, don't be on a landmine at all.
Yeah.
Don't get yourself into a position where you have to duck and dodge landmines.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I'm talking metaphorically.
And another thing too is don't be so desperate that you have to go through that landmine field because you can't go around because it's too long and you'll die. Right.
Exactly. Sacrifice. Like, if something looks nice and big and fat and juicy and it looks so good to be true and it's just ready for the taking, it's too easy. Just watch out for that, because that's usually too good to be true.
It is too good to be true. There's a catch.
And then you'll end up finding yourself in a minefield, dude. I'm telling you, like, I'm only speaking from my personal experience. I'm sure, Bob, you have yours.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, I've gotten good at not making the same mistake twice, but I have definitely made the same mistake twice.
Oh yeah, me two or three times.
I think everybody has, like the motto is don't make the same mistake twice, but it's like when you keep going for that big juicy, sucker bet. That's what I like to think of it as. It's like it's a sucker bet.
Easy way out.
If it's like, oh, I'm going to put all my money on this cuz it's going to hit and everyone told me that it's good, and that's a sucker bet.
Yeah.
That's just sucking you in to blow up, you know? So that movie taught me to just steer clear of the landmines. If you can see them, which usually, if you look hard enough, there's signs and you can see them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, especially with, your steering mechanism, which is your conscience. You follow your conscience. You got a good conscience.
Yeah.
Follow it.
Definitely.
If you have a good conscience and you're doing bad things, follow your conscience.
Yes.
Because it's going to tell you to get the hell out of there, and you don't belong there. You don't have the conscience for it.
I'm glad
there's people who have a conscience to do bad things. So
yeah, I'm glad you brought up conscience, because that's definitely something. Like, a rat doesn't have it's conscious because it's awake, but it doesn't have an intelligent conscience.
It doesn't have a reasoning.
No reasoning. No, like, oh, that hurt, so I'm not gonna, like. They will go for the cheese in the rat trap every time. Yeah. And that's a perfect example of a sucker bet. Yeah. It's like they go for it every time. Why? Because it smells so good and it looks
right there.
It's
so close.
Easy. They don't have to kill anything or chase anything. It's just right there for the taking.
So close.
And then
bam.
Bam, they're dead.
Right behind.
And they're lucky if they survive, which usually they don't.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah. So they either get squished by the thing or they die of starvation from being underneath the house for so long.
I'd want to die.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got stuck in a rat trap and you lived, that's a horrible end.
Oh,
just
God.
Slow death until you bleed out or you don't eat or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't find yourself in a rat trap.
Yeah. If you do, you're a rat.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It's like the landmine field to me was a metaphor, you know, like examples of going into a landmine in real life is like being a bad person, being negative. But it's like a kind of a catch-22 because like you'll look at people like, man, he's a dickhead and he's super rich and successful and everyone likes him. Like,
Yeah.
How? But it's like, that's what he's good at. Do you catch my drift? Like, if you're not good at being a dickhead, piece of shit, evil person, if you can't go to sleep at night because you can't be a dickhead without staying up, stressing, and feeling guilt,
Yeah.
then you don't go that route.
Yeah.
And if you are, then fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's wrong with the world.
Yeah, exactly. There's too many of them.
Yeah.
Too many of those kind that, you know, are...
That are good at being evil.
And really materialistic, you know.
Yeah, materialism, man. Like, I talked about that on the last episode a lot, and that is ruining the world. Like, status, you literally...
They basically weigh their death by how many toys or things they have acquired.
Yeah.
That's how they're satisfied with their life.
Yeah, with their life. Yeah.
Where, you know, I mean...
I know. And it's like, money is really like your bank account number is kind of like your grade.
Yeah.
You know? Like, the higher it is, the better person you are. And it's like, that's wrong, dude. That's not, you know, money ruins ethics, money ruins souls, money ruins reasoning.
Exactly, and a lot of things should be based on ethics alone.
I know.
You know, and because if you're not doing the right thing and you're trying to undermine somebody because you know something they don't know or something like that, then that's no different than shooting them in the head with a freaking gun.
I know.
But they don't look at it that way. Oh, it's okay. It's legal. I didn't physically hurt you.
Right.
You can't sue me for what?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I should be able to.
Should be able
to sue you for mind fucking me.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. Mental warfare is like the worst. Oh, man. That Skittles got me nice and toasted.
Yeah.
I'm starting to drift off a little bit here. Let's see what we got here. We got notes, guys. It doesn't really matter because got to make sure that our stoner asses stay on pace here. But, you know, talking about my past, you know, we'll dive into that a little bit. You know, I was 20 years old and me and Shane received this YouTube plaque, right? And it was like 6 months after we had started the show. And you remember, you were around with the...
Oh, yeah.
With the Bobylon, the Bob's Day Off, all that. Like, we were so young and it hit so quick and so easy, right?
Yeah.
That it was like too good to be true. But my naive...
Took it for granted. And,
yeah, totally.
You know.
My naive ass didn't see that at all. I was like, oh my God, like, my life just went from... you know, being idle to like, boom, I got a upshot trajectory and that bitch ain't ever coming down.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a bad spot to be in because it can make you super vulnerable. You're not careful.
Yeah.
Right? And you end up making the same mistake that you made in the past because you figure, fuck it. Right? And that just, it doesn't equate to much, man. Like, the point I'm getting at is yesterday I went and I looked at that plaque. It's displayed, and I almost wanted to just take it down because it was like, man, yet again, the Dewey Cox words go through my head. I had it all, and then I fucked it all up.
Yeah,
you know?
There you go. I mean, it's sort of like a season for like NASCAR. You know, they have so many races, and just because you win one race doesn't make you the best driver or the national champion. You know what I mean?
It's a whole season.
That's the whole season of races combined.
Yep.
Of all that blood, sweat, and tears or whatever they go through, you know, and that's what you're talking about is you guys got one little plaque and boom. I won. I'm you know, and then the rest of the races you lost. So did you really win anything? No, you realize that now.
You know what I equate that to? A one-hit wonder.
Yeah, one-hit wonder. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like, boom, we've nailed it out the gate, bro.
Yeah.
And then you lose all your drive, all your focus, all your carefulness, and you end up losing it all.
Yeah.
You know, and
then you get people after you, hey, I'll help you. I'll do this for you. It costs you a little bit. But,
oh, yeah.
You know, because they know you got, you know, a little bit of money accumulated from all these successful things you've done. So right away they start leeching like little fish in the sea, grabbing the side of you and picking off the corals off the side of the sharks.
Guess what? When all the meat's gone and bones are left, there ain't nobody there.
Just let it float to the bottom. See you later.
Yeah, and it's like
the bottom is where you sit.
Really, no one ever swims down to check out to see if you're still breathing.
Yeah,
either.
Nobody wants to go to the bottom.
No.
Way cleaner on top.
Yeah. There's sunlight and fresh air you can go peek up and get. And yeah, life's a funny ride, man. Like, you know, we're not sitting here on the Wan train or anything. You
got an itch in my ear. Hold on here.
Itch it then.
I am. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Itch that
All right,
ear.
there we go.
But yeah, we're not trying to sit here and, you know, look for pity or anything, but, you know, it's just true, man. Like, the more money-centric the world gets, the more the world revolves around money, the more it's going to be like that. Like, I really found out about my quote-unquote friends when I lost it all. You know, I really got one that checks in on me still from time to time. That's Aunt, you know? Like, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. You know, it's like, how good of a friend were you if you don't, you know, it's like me. I have friends from when I was 13, 12 years old, 11 years old.
Wow.
Robert, I've known since I was about 11 years old. And I talk to him like at least twice a week.
Wow. That's
cool.
He
doesn't call me that much because he's different. He's a different person. You know, he works a lot and he gets involved in what he's doing. He's not a phone person. So, you know, he doesn't really get that way, you know.
Yeah.
But if I call him and I have to leave a message, he'll call me back, you know. And you know, it's no, I still, you know. In other words, when you call somebody, it's because you're thinking of them.
Right. Which I feel like nowadays, that's almost looked at as like, oh, that's awkward. Like, why is this guy calling me? Like, why is he texting me just to say like, hey, how you doing? Like, it's like a lost emotion almost. Like, and I'm not saying you have to like respond to me right away and shit, but I got hella people where I'll text or I'll call and I'll never hear back from them. Until I reach out like 3 times in a row. Yeah. And it you know, if it's not important, if I'm just calling to see what's up and stuff, that's cool. But like, I know that people are on their phones like all day.
Oh yeah, you have them with you all the time. They're part of you now.
Just because I've hung out with my friends long enough to where I noticed that they're on the phone all day.
Yeah, I am too, aren't you?
Yeah. Especially in the pandemic. So it's like,
I mean,
when people don't hit me up, more so like when I have questions regarding business or like something important, it shouldn't have to be that way. But like, you know, like I respect, I'm looking for an answer in like a good time frame.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not like 2-3 weeks down the road or me having to hit you up 3 or 4 times. But I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't either. You know, I mean, I do, you know, like I say, sometimes you get caught up with what you're doing and stuff and you kind of forget or whatever if the person left a message or whatever or text or whatever. And my friend does it all the time. But eventually I hear from them, you know, or even then, you know, I'll go by there or something like that. And, you know.
And trust me, I want people to get off their phones more. I'm a big advocate of getting off your phones, unplugging, like I keep saying. So if you don't hit me back, that's like, I get it. I'm not expecting you to like, boom, fire right back. But something I've been trying to get better at is like, if someone hits me up with an important question, I'll take the time to respond because, Bob, if you have the time to open a text message and read it, don't you have the extra 15 seconds to hit a quick reply?
Exactly. My son's bad for that. I'll text him sometimes. I'm not
Shane's
talking about
terrible.
Phone. I'll text him and I'll never hear back from him for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. And
then, hey, what's up? You know, I'm like, well, I'll wait 4 or 5 days and text him back. Nothing much.
Mm-hmm. But it's like, you know, when someone needs something from me, I've been trying to be like, boom, right on the ball. I want to be accountable. I want to be like reliable.
Yeah.
Right? Which I think, God, like that should be a core value for everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
No doubt. I
but
mean,
it's just getting worse and worse. And I know that like this pandemic is causing a lot of depression. Trust me, I go through it too. But like communicating, I feel like is a good release to like get stress off, you know, like.
sure. I mean, you know, you always want to see somebody else's point of view or life or what's going on in their life and stuff like that to, you know, not to compare so much, but just to see, you know,
just to hear a familiar
if they're
voice.
doing all right, you know?
Yeah.
Not so much yourself, but if they're doing all right.
Yeah.
And if they're doing all right, it makes you feel better, and then you end up doing all right.
Exactly, man.
It makes them feel good that you called them. Hey, yeah, thanks for calling. So I always get my friends saying, thanks for calling and stuff. And I was like,
yeah.
why do you say that?
I know.
You know?
I know. It's like people are so like surprised now.
That's when I give it to them. No, that's when I tell them, fuck, every time I call, I'm lucky I got a hold of you. You never call me back or nothing. I tell them.
I know. Yeah, I don't know. It's like we're given this gift of, you know, communications with these phones. You know, you can communicate with people through video now.
Yeah, video.
You can Snapchat them. I don't care about all that. All I want is like a phone call.
Yeah.
Like, for once, like, no one ever calls me, dude.
No.
Ever. And like, when Aunt calls me or something, I'm like, oh, fuck. And I like pick it up. I'm like, what up, dude? You know, and I call him too, you know, but it's like.
That's the way it goes,
That's the way a friendship should be. Is like, you know, you should want to talk to your homie, not like look at your phone and be like,
I'll call him later.
I'll call him later, and then you never do. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's like,
Yeah.
where is that?
Just how you did it right there. That just goes to show you really don't like them all that much.
Exactly.
It really wasn't your homie.
Yeah,
so.
I guess maybe people just don't like me.
Yeah,
you know?
same with me, you know, because I have a lot of friends and.
Well, I like you, Bob.
And thanks. I like you too.
I'm telling you, I could never spend a ton of time with someone and not get sick of them, but like, you're so easy going and chill, like.
Well,
You know,
I have nothing to complain about, really. You know,
more people should be like Bob, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I mean, I try to make friends. I don't try to not make them, you know. I mean, there's people out there that actually don't give a fuck whether you like them or not.
Yeah.
And that sucks because why do you want an enemy all the time? Why do you want everybody your enemy?
I know.
I don't understand that, you know. I mean, why, you know, until they have to prove to you or somewhere, who in the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You have to prove to, why do I have to prove to you to be your friend? I don't want to be your friend if I got to prove to you. You got to prove to me.
Yeah.
You know, fuck.
Like those guys that walk around and they always want to pick a fight.
Yeah,
right? And they
exactly.
always want to start
they're
something.
like just walk around like bullies, you know, and just looking at people mean all the time and stuff. It's like, what the fuck? Why do you want people to bow down to you? Who in the fuck are you?
Yeah, to me, they're walking in a landmine field because, they're in such a bad negative space that they're projecting all their negative energy out, and it's like, dude, eventually they're gonna blow up. Like, yeah, they might win every fight, but
they might get past a couple of those mines, but eventually you're gonna step on one that's gonna beat their ass.
Exactly.
And then they're gonna wish that fuck they never would have walked through.
Yeah, because guess what, man? You get old. Everybody gets old, and if you want to try and be that Billy Badass when you're 70.
Then go for it. So let me tell you, I'm only 62, and man,
You've learned
half the person I used to be. So it's like I control my mouth and stuff. I used to be, you know, pretty frisky. You know,
Me too.
I mean, I used to.
Me too.
I get in a lot of fights and stuff like that when I was in my 20s and stuff.
Totally.
You know, but now it's like I look back and
you just think it's not worth it, man.
So stupid, man, because the drama and all the anger involved with it was way more fucking destructive than being happy.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. Like going back to sacrifices, right? It's all about sacrifices. It's like, you know, is it really worth the little bit of like ego boost that I get from not backing down from a fight?
Yeah.
You know, when you'll probably never even see that guy again. Like you bump into somebody, he gets pissed, shoves you, wants to fight you. You know what I'm going to start doing in those situations? I'm going to say, hey, man, my bad. Let me grab you a beer. You want to go get a beer real quick?
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to try and, like, fight the hate with love.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be right away try to fight two negatives to fight negative with negative.
No,
you should try the positive, and then again, you know, I mean, if the positive doesn't work, then you have to get extreme negative, and that's when you just Sunday punch him.
You Sunday punch him.
You know,
That's negative, though,
I
Bob.
know it's really negative, and it feels negative when you do it. In fact, I feel bad when I have to do it, but
Right.
it's something that has to be done. Otherwise, it's going to be you
Yeah.
taking that punch, because he's going to throw it here any minute, any second now, and giving them the benefit of doubt by, you know, calmly asking him for a beer and saying, I'm sorry, it was my fault bumping into you or whatever, and
Right.
he continues on with it, then most likely he's a real big talker and just continues mouthing his, while he's mouthing, you just give him one.
You just Sunday
Right, you
punch
just
him.
look at his jaw and you just fucking blow one in there real hard.
All right. I'm with you, because to me, that's when, like,
Then you help him get up and say you're sorry. You know? I mean,
that be like, yo, dude, you pushed me to that point.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, but
like
that's
if
the way it goes.
someone pushes you to that point where you have to Sunday punch them, then that's their fault,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Like if you've done everything that you could possibly do, and it's almost more of like a self-defense.
Now it's defense.
Because if you don't throw it, he's gonna do it. Like,
yeah.
I'm with you. Then you give him a nice old Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Or you look around for the nearest, you know, it's illegal too, but that's only an MMA, Joe. And, you know, you just look around for the nearest item there, and you hit them with it.
Yeah, like a
You just-
2x4.
You just clock them with it in case you start losing or something, you know. Or,
No.
but until he gets to that point, it has to be pretty life or death, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, this guy, he's going to fuck me up. I don't want to be fucked up.
Yeah,
So I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm
that's
going to throw that Sunday, and I'm going to get it in there because I'm going to be looking for it. I'm not going to be mouthing, hey, motherfucker, what's wrong with you, you fucking prick? You're looking stupid. Boom. He's going to throw him. And then just keep throwing them because, you know, an average person can probably get about at least, I know I could get about 15, 20 punches in before I run out of breath.
yeah.
And if you can get him on the ground and he's half dazed and you get those 15, 20 punches in him, then you can get up and go sit on the bench and have some water.
Well, you're a
and
pretty
fucking-
big dude, yeah. So I wouldn't want 10 Sunday punches from you. That would send me into like next week.
But
you
I'm
know?
just saying, you know, I mean, I got about a good 10 seconds
Yeah.
worth of good fucking fight in me before you got me after that.
Yeah,
After
totally.
that, it's like, fuck, I got to start looking for a weapon.
I'm out of shape myself, man. But little side tangent there. But
Yeah.
that being said, yes, if you get pushed to that limit, then by any means necessary, do what you got to do. But we're just kind of dialing it back down to where like if someone bumps into you, Bob, and
Does
he
it
says,
offend me? No, not
No.
unless it's intentional. Not unless he came up and punched me in
no,
the arm.
I'm
or
just
something.
talking about like you're walking down the street and you're looking at your phone and you're not really seeing where you're going, and you bump shoulders with some dude and he says like, "Oh, fuck off." You know, I'll just be like, "Oh, that's your
I'm sorry.
It's
I'd right
your
away.
fault, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But
Yeah,
like
no problem.
some people would turn around and just fucking want to fight.
Yeah,
and
say,
it's
hey,
like
what the fuck's your problem, man?
it's like, hey,
I've
man,
even said it before. I don't have no problem.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm
you
sorry.
Know, and if
I w-
they continue, then you know it comes.
yeah, exactly.
Little mass time.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I feel like the older you get, obviously, it's like the more you become just like not. I don't know.
The older you get, the more humble you get.
Exactly. And with that, what I was trying to get at is you don't really like fights aren't really worth it. you know? And
they're to me a life or death situation. No different than if you were fighting off a cougar or a bear or anything like that.
yeah.
You know, that's the mind frame I would be in.
Right.
I mean, even if I was losing terribly, I would still find some way to kill and try
Yeah.
to survive.
And like
know?
the person that's insecure would probably listen to this and say, "Oh, these guys are pussies. These guys back down from every fight." And it's like, no. If you actually look at like,
I don't necessarily call it backing down. I call it humbly stepping out.
well, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at all of the great, like, you know, warriors metaphorically or leaders or whatever, they're never the ones that pick the fight. They're
Yeah.
always the one that ends it. It's the
Exactly.
cowards. It's the insecure.
The ones who start the fight are the ones who are going to lose.
Most of the time. Most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's because they think they're more than they are.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Unless you're the size of Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime against Pee Wee Herman,
Yeah.
then I'd suggest not picking any fights with anybody.
I mean, yeah, it would just make the world.
And then if you did that, the guy probably has a gun on him. He's going to shoot you.
Yeah, especially
A small guy, you don't think he's going to have a weapon on him? I would.
Totally.
So.
Yeah, like back in the day, it was like a fist fight. Now they just boom.
They pull out a gun or
Shoot
a fucking
you.
knife or something and fucking stick you a couple times before you even know what happened. He could be 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And you're 250.
Yeah.
He just got fucked up.
Fucked up.
For no reason, too.
Yeah.
His self-defense.
Yep.
Because you were the asshole, started a fight with him because you were bigger than him. You thought you could kick his ass and overpower him and beat him up like a whatever. They call it, they say a woman, but some women nowadays, I wouldn't fuck with them.
No, me either.
Like Ronda Rousey,
hell
fucked up.
no. Yeah. I remember Anthony said he could get in the ring and beat her. I still highly doubt.
Fucking way.
I highly doubt that.
No way.
She's a trained fighter.
Yeah,
dude.
she knows how to. She knows how to. Throw
He'll still tell you to this day that he could beat her.
No way.
Oh yeah, I would put all the money I had on her. All of it.
I wouldn't even watch because he would get fucked up.
He would get fucked up.
First thing she'd do, get him in an arm bar and just break his arm in half.
That's what I'm saying. He knows.
And then get up and start stomping on his face. What are you going to do then?
He has
girl or not?
He knows no jujitsu or no defense.
Nothing.
He's like, well, I'm bigger than her. I'll just go over there and mollywop her. I'm like, no, you won't. She's got hella defense.
Muscles.
She can take some punches.
Yeah.
Not one's just going to knock her.
She knows how to throw hers.
Yeah. I remember when we were like, dude, I would die to make that happen. Not really, but you know what I'm saying? To see Anthony fight Ronda Rousey, like, I wish that I was a huge celebrity just for the fact that I could set that up.
Oh, yeah.
And make it a reality.
Yeah. Hey, I got your wish for you, Anthony.
Yep. Got you. Hey, man, I scheduled Rhonda. She's going to be coming up to come on the podcast. And afterwards, we rented out the local gym. And we're going to give you 3 rounds.
With Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That would be funny. What else makes people fight? I can think of one thing.
Money.
I can definitely... Dude, money is like the number one thing I feel like that causes controversy. It runs the world, right?
Prejudice.
It causes a ton of prejudice, like however you say that. I'm stoned, and I need some water, and I need some food. I'm getting hungry. So we'll definitely wind it down here. But definitely money causes the most conflict in the world.
Yeah, it causes everything.
Wouldn't you agree?
Exactly.
So I feel like on this show, I want one of the number one goals. I'm actually going to write it up here on the board right now, and it's a huge goal. But like I said on the last episode, it's all about the domino effect. You get enough dominoes rolling, and you can actually start to change some shit. But I want to make the world less centered around money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No
seriously, we need to get over this hurdle of like, dude, the only thing different from buying a JanSport $25 backpack and a $3,000 Louis Vuitton backpack is you're buying status.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's literally like, it might be a little bit nicer leather, but dude.
Who in the fuck cares, I mean.
Who cares, man? Life is not about the material things. It's not about that.
For the rich, it is. Those kind of little things because they got to find something to set goals for.
Yeah.
They'll buy a painting, like, similar to the one behind you.
Yeah.
They'll buy one of those for fucking $2 million and say it's the fucking greatest thing they ever saw. And it's like, shit.
Why?
I don't understand.
I mean, I'm not...
What are you going to do with that?
I'm not downgrading no one's art or anything, like, by all means. But
no. Not at all,
like,
but I mean...
I just feel like if that person went and put that $2 million, like, actually physically went out and, like, I don't know, to a children's hospital and... just brought like Game Boys to every single person. You don't think that would make them feel so much better than buying a $3,000 Louis Vuitton bag? Just go buy $3,000 worth of Game Boys, go to a St. Jude's, and just go. I would like that's the type of shit. If I was like a billionaire, millionaire, whatever, that's the type of shit I would do. Like, and I'm sure you can write it off.
Yeah.
So it's like, why isn't there more of that? Like.
Because everybody wants to, it's in a world now that where he who dies with the most money wins.
Right.
This race of life.
Yeah.
And why they want to do that, I don't understand. Well, why? I don't understand.
It's the rat race.
It's a status, a status. Like
Yeah.
Like the Egyptians and all that kind of bullshit. It's always been some sort of status like that.
Why do we have that?
Why do we have that? You have one ruler that has all the riches, and you have fucking millions of people below him. They're peasants.
Yeah.
If you stupid motherfucking millions of people below would fucking use your fucking heads and come up and team up and say, all right, well, we're just going to take you over.
Dude, that's great, because that literally leads into my ending message. You'll see it right here. It's like, I really wanted to talk about how the world, we need, like, let's just put ourselves in a cartoon right now. Boom. Right? And the world is a fucking hamster wheel inside a hamster cage, right? And the rich are like the big corporation owners, like the billionaires, like the Jeff Bezos and the Bill Gates.
Yeah.
And the 1%, they are the humans that own the hamster and the cage and the wheel, right? And that's like their machine that generates money as long as the hamster keeps running.
Exactly.
Right? And when that hamster's tired, then another one comes in and keeps it going. That wheel cannot stop, right?
No.
But like you said, if the hamsters just got smart enough and started thinking outside the box and started generating their own revenue by working together, they wouldn't have to depend on the human so much, right?
Or the big guy with all the brains, so to speak. The only reason he has brains is because he has power.
Yeah.
That's what generates intelligence is the power.
Totally. Yeah. So it's like, yo, guys, if we just start thinking outside the box, start doing more stuff like this, getting on the Anchor app and creating your own podcast and monetizing it, getting paid, we start networking, we start building all these little networks that end up feeding each other, paying each other out views. We all start watching each other stuff. This is just an example. Like, if we start working together, then the hamsters won't necessarily have to depend on the big corporations. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I mean, why does one person get to control it all?
Right.
Why can't, like, maybe, there you go, like gangs. Why can't like, you can just have little segments, control little segments, they have their own, nobody controls them, they control themselves, but they appoint people to do certain things, like be the sheriff, and appoint people to do this, stuff like that. But
right.
It just goes to show you that the whole world is,
we have to have
one big city, and all the countries in this world are the gangs.
Yeah,
they're the neighborhoods. They're the hoods.
Right. I know. It's like, dude, that's what it all boils down to. Yeah, and we all go to war to try and it's like, it's so dirty. Like,
try to,
war is the number
protect our hood. Yeah. People come into our hood and everything like that.
No, we're the ones that we straight up go and jack people, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we do too. We trespass all the time.
That's what I'm saying. America,
because we're powerful. We got the power to do it,
and we're greedy. No, we're the most greedy country.
What happens in
it's sickening.
A gang infested like L.A. or something? That's the most powerful gang is the one that gets to trespass wherever he wants.
Yeah,
takes territory wherever he wants.
Yeah, and all the stores have to pay them.
Yeah,
No, I get you, but it's like, war is the number one moneymaker, man. Like, we don't go to war unless there's something to be made. Like, let's go to Iraq and just steal all their oil.
Exactly. And certain things don't happen unless there's money to be made.
Totally.
Like this pandemic. You think we're really suffering? The little people are suffering, yeah. The poor people that were in the food industries and stuff like that, they're all suffering.
Oh, yeah.
But
the rich are getting richer,
the rich are getting rich off of things that we need now, like face mask.
Dude, it's no...
Come on, man.
It's no... It's so obvious when you take a step back and look at it, like...
This vaccine. Fuck.
Well, look. Like, when a pandemic hits, right, all the poor people, they don't have money going into this thing, right?
No.
So if they have any type of stock investment, any type of IRA, whatever, they're going to have to... If they lose their job because they're unemployed because of a virus and they can't go to work, or their work shuts down, like a restaurant or something, then... They no longer have income, right?
Yeah.
And then they're fucked. The poor people, they have to sell all their stocks because they have no money going into the pandemic, right? And then when they do that, the stock prices fall. And then the rich people that are going into the pandemic, they got tons of money.
They buy them all up.
And they buy them all up. And then, boom, it starts going back up. And then we get out of the pandemic and all the poor people buy stocks again and it soars.
Exactly. And now they're buying stocks in total different industries.
Yeah.
In fucking mask making industry and the freaking
vaccines and you
vaccines and the manufacturers that do all that shit. And
yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious to me now that, rich people are set into a pandemic. Boom, it dips. The best time to buy a stock is when it's tanked, right? As long as you know it's going to go back up, you got to buy at the valley and sell at the peak. And it's like, these rich people are smarter than we give them credit for.
And they also have the money to back it up.
Yeah.
They could basically buy it any part of the dip. It doesn't have to be at the valley. It can be halfway up.
As long as
they got a couple $1 million to put in there.
Yeah.
By the time
when the pandemic ends, they're going to be making out, I promise.
Yeah,
as soon as it comes back up and, now our economy is super strong. It's like, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And that's only going to get worse and worse. There already is no middle class, but like the separation is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, guys. So if we don't start teaming up and start sticking together and stop putting each other down.
Yeah.
And start just working towards not relying on the man so much.
Yeah, there shouldn't be so many single people that are so high and mighty above everybody else like that.
Right.
I mean, there should be like a ceiling you get to, and that's where you stay. The rest goes into a kitty for the country.
Yeah.
If you made fucking $20 billion, you only get $1 billion of it.
Well, no. Now you're getting into touchy territory, man. That's kind of like...
well, that's the way it should be. Every fucking place.
I don't think that you should be forced to do that, though. I think that what I want to see, the change in humanity that I want to see, I want it to be natural. I don't want it to be like, if you make more than $10 billion, then we're going to take everything over $10 billion. So it's like, that'll stop people from working harder. It'll, there's a lot of problems with that I see. I want the change to be from within.
Yeah.
Because if you put a limit on something, then they're just going to manipulate it. They're going to find loopholes to do. They're going to be, that just won't work. You can't really, you can't make somebody change. You just have to, I want to see it come within. I want people, if you make $50 billion a year out there somewhere.
I want you to
go do good with it.
Yeah. I want you to realize if you made $50 billion, that you only need $1 billion to have a very, very beautiful life. So give the rest to where it needs to go.
Exactly.
Where all the fucking dips are in the valleys of poverty and stuff,
society.
Society.
Yeah.
I mean.
And I want that to come from your heart. I want it to be a change that you want. I don't want somebody to make you do it. I don't want a market cap to make people have to donate their money and shit, whatever, because they'll just find loopholes to get around it, most likely. Make their own company and donate to their own company, rich people always find a way. So it's like, I really want to see a change. Yeah. That's it.
Definitely.
It's really all I want. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah. Not at all.
I don't think so, Bob. I don't.
Nope. And I'm hungry, so.
I'm super hungry. So thank you guys for joining us for this episode of The Flavor Layer. If you haven't caught episode 1, go run that back one time. Other than that, me and Bob are going to go smoke some kush. We're going to get some food in us because we haven't ate for about 2 hours. So hope y'all have a good week, and I'll see you next week. Bob, thank you for joining me, man. You got any last words? Hit them.
Peace.
Peace. Peace, love, and harmony. Late.